Hi once again. It's time for a minute with Mitch and
Murphy.
hi everybody. Kara Murphy, you've seen her before. Kara is the Chief Investment Officer of Kestra Financial, and we talk and work together, and I get a lot of great information because Kara is an economic expert. So we may go a little longer than a minute, maybe two or three, but today it's October 1st, 2025, and we had a government shutdown at midnight tonight. A lot of questions, a lot of people are concerned, some worries. But what is reality? So, Kara has a lot of history and knowledge on this subject. So, Kara, we did shut down at midnight tonight, October 1st. Has it happened before? And what are your thoughts on that?
So the good news is that it's happened before. And the bad news is that it's happened before. Right? So you're absolutely right. During the course of my 25-year career, we've had a lot of government shutdowns. And in fact, I think going back to the 1970s, that's when essentially this modern budget reconciliation process came into being. We've had the government shut down 22 times. And that has happened under both Republican administrations and Democratic administrations. So both sides of the aisle have considered this sort of fair game. Now, it tends to get pulled out, I think, often as sort of like a last minute desperate measure to force the other side to the table. And so what we've seen is that over the last number of years, they have happened with increasing frequency. And the latest ones have also tended to be longer. So there's a wide variation. They can range anywhere from a day to 35 days. But the more recent ones have been a little bit longer. And so what I'm hearing these days is that we should expect that this one will last at least for a few weeks.
So, a couple of weeks. So again, it's there's not an overnight quick fix. And again, we know that they have to fix it, and it's just going to take a little time. And meetings between both sides have to sit down and get this really worked out. So when people sit here and maybe it's 7 days from now and we still have the shutdown, don't panic. Again, to your point, it's been 22 different times that it's happened in modern times. And we expect it not to be done tonight or tomorrow. If it was, that would be great, be a miracle, and we'd all be happy. But it'll be probably drawn out a little. Any thoughts? Again, we've always talked about people getting so nervous they sell out our, what's going to happen. We are paying Social Security, but anything to worry about right now for people, clients, and
So
the
I
rest
think
of the
in the
world?
near term, the answer is no. And I often like to say, like, the time to panic is never.
Right.
That said, we do hit volatility in the market. We do have like challenges in our government, and we need to be able to work through this. I think my bigger concern is less sort of like near term in this particular government shutdown, because eventually we'll get to a resolution. It might be painful while we get there. My bigger concern, sort of like longer term, is that there is this increasing difficulty of finding compromise in the government. I travel all over the country and I talk to a lot of different people, and everybody I think feels this frustration, right? No matter what side of the aisle that you're on. And so my hope is that we get to a place where we learn how to compromise better so that we don't have to go through these pieces of volatility.
That is an important factor, which I believe as well. If we can finally get back to compromising, it might be a better place. And both sides need to get together and compromise. And let's get this over. But again, as I've always said, it's not a time to panic. It's not a time to sell out because you never know when things are going to come back. If we remember back April 3rd, the market dropped on the news of tariffs, and whoever sold out when the market took a big drop. And within a few weeks, it was back. And year to date, we're way past those low numbers, and we've got a nice positive year so far. So don't panic. Call us. And if you're worried, have any questions, we're always here for you. And we will try to answer your questions to the best of our ability and help you get through it. And again, make sure we have the right allocation for your risk tolerance. With that, thank you, Kara.
Thank you.
It was wonderful. And thanks again for a minute with Mitch. And
Murphy.
we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.